discuss about important landforms. Let's see which are the landforms. Here what you see? You see a mountain. Mountains are the higher lands. And you see a plateaus. Plateaus are not so higher as mountain, but they are higher than plains or lower areas. They are flat lands and they are also known as tablelands. We are living in a tableland, which is that Chota Nagpur plateau. And the next important landform is that hills. What do you see? Here hills are not so higher as mountains, but they are higher lands. You see tea gardens are growing in hilly areas. And the other feature you find here is that valley. Valleys are formed at the bottom of the hills or mountains. What you see here? This is volcano. You see some places volcanic eruption take place, and later on this volcanoes, these erupted volcano can change into a mountain. And the other landform is that oceans. You all know that ocean, large ocean, major portion of earth is covered by oceans. And next is lakes. Lakes are also a kind of landform. And rivers, these are also landform, means the features which are found on the earth. Then many more features are found, like other than these important.
So children, you understood that what are landforms. So in this session, in chapter 2, we will mainly discuss under landforms of the earth about many mountains, plains and plateaus. Okay, before discussing in detail about mountains, plains and plateaus, let's see that what are the factors behind the formation of these mountains, plains and plateaus and other landforms. You see, there are mainly two factors responsible for the formation of these landforms. You know, they are endogenetic forces and exogenetic forces. What are endogenetic forces? You know, endogenetic forces are the forces which are working inside the earth. Inside the earth means, you see, no, we are not able to feel those forces. Okay, there are, as you go inside the earth, temperature goes on increasing, so that there forms conventional currents. So due to that conventional currents, some kind of movements are taking place under the earth. That is called endogenetic forces. It is this endogenetic forces causes the volcanoes and earthquakes. Sometimes, you know, earthquakes and volcanoes take place on the earth. So they are mainly happening due to these endogenetic forces, due to the conventional currents under the earth. So you understood what are endogenetic forces? They are the forces which are working inside the earth. These forces causes earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, and those earthquakes and volcanic eruptions causes some changes on the earth surface, and they causes the formation of some kind of mountains, plains and plateaus. Now let's see how this endogenetic forces works. You see, mainly endogenetic forces causes folding and faulting. Endogenetic forces are responsible for folding and faulting. What are this folding? You see, the earth crust is divided into several tectonic plates. These are the tectonic plates. Like you see, suppose the eggshell, okay, eggshell is cracked. There appears some crack on the eggshell. How does it look? Similar way, the earth crust is divided into several tectonic plates. So these tectonic plates keep on moving in different directions. You know that due to the conventional currents under the earth, this movement, the tectonic plates keep on moving. Sometimes they move to the same direction. When the tectonic plates move towards the same direction, what happens? They take place a collision, clash, and so that they take place folding on the earth crust. And then, so due to that, what happens? You see the folding, such kind of folding take place on the earth crust, and then you see this folding. This is called upfold strata, and down portion is called downfold strata. This upfold strata is called anticline, and downfold strata is called syncline. So this kind of upward cycle. So you see, due to this kind of folding, there take place formation of mountains on the earth. You see Himalaya is a fold mountain. You see how the Himalayas are formed due to this such kind of folding on the earth crust. Next we see the faulting. You see when the tectonic plates, they move from the same point to the different direction. You see they move apart. Okay, same point to the different direction. What happened? There appear, you see the gap. There appear a gap, isn't it? So there what happened? This portion is elevated. Later on, this portion is elevated to form a block mountain. So this process is called faulting. What is faulting? When the tectonic plates, they move apart from same direction, same point to different direction is called faulting. So due to the faulting, there forms block mountains. You see how the mountains are formed due to the folding on the earth crust, and block mountains are formed due to the faulting on the earth crust. The other forces which makes changes on the earth's surface are exogenetic forces. What are exogenetic forces? They are wind, water and moving ice. See, this wind, water and moving ice, they do the erosional work. Erosional work means, you see wind, when they blow, they carry everything. Wind carry everything on its way. And from the higher land to everything is carried to the lower land. So what happened? Higher land, the height is reduced, and lower land, what happened? Their gap is filled and height is. So they mainly these processes, these forces, this wind, water and moving ice, they mainly involved in gradation. Gradation means leveling of the land. So they are always trying to level up the land. So the height is increased, then slowly wind, water and moving ice and they carry everything on its way. So the height of the land is slowly reduced, and they deposit that into the lower areas to fill up the gap and also leveling the land. So this is how these exogenetic forces are working to make the changes on the surface of the earth. So we have learned about exogenetic forces and also endogenetic forces. Endogenetic forces, remember, the forces which are working inside the earth, and exogenetic forces are the forces which are working on the surface of the earth. They are wind, water and moving ice. It is this endogenetic forces and exogenetic forces together makes changes on the surface of the earth. That means they become the causes for the formation of mountains, plains and plateaus. You know, mountains are the elevated lands, so slowly their height sometimes reduces, and then plains and lower areas, their height slowly increases. So why? Because of the activities of this both the forces. Next we discuss about mountains. You see, we will discuss now in detail about mountains, plains and plateaus, the three major landforms. Mountains, you see, there are mainly two types of mountains. They are fold mountains and block mountains. You see, what are fold mountains? Already we discussed that. How the fold mountains are formed? They are formed mainly due to the faulting of the earth crust. See, there are mainly two types of fold mountains are formed. They are young fold mountains and old fold mountains. Now, what are young fold mountains? You see, young fold mountains are the mountains which are formed in the recent past. Recent past doesn't mean that they are formed some years ago, many millions of years ago. They are formed, but compared to the old mountains, old fold mountains, they are formed much later. So the mountains which are formed, the fold mountains which are formed in the recent past are called what? Young fold mountains. Do you know the example of young fold mountain? That is Himalayas in India, the greater Himalayas in India. India is one of the young fold mountain which is formed in the recent past. You know that most of the time the earthquake take place near the region of Himalayas. You know, Nepal, a major earthquake took place, and recently the earthquakes took even some tremors are taking region of Delhi and other places near the Himalayas. Why? Because these are formed in the recent past, so that there is no much stability of the earth crust. Why? Because the tectonic plates, there are two plates. One is the Indian plate and the other one is the Tibetan plate. The tectonic plates are named. These two plates, Indian plate is going on colliding and sliding, going on sliding under the Tibetan plate. As it goes under and clash, what happens? The height of the Himalaya goes on increasing. So scientists say that they have observed that the height of the Himalaya is going on increasing due to this tectonic activity. So next we discuss the fold mountain. Fold mountains are the mountains which are formed much earlier, much before than the young fold mountain. They are called old fold mountain. You see, old fold mountains, they have got their elevation. They have got a round top instead of peak top. You see, young fold mountain, they have got peak top because they are formed in the recent past. Compared to old fold mountain, they are less exposed to the wind, water, and moving ice, etc. So they have got peak top, young fold mountain. But these old fold mountains, they have been exposing for long time to the exogenetic forces like wind, water, and moving ice, so that the gradation and other erosional process and all what happened, their height goes on decreasing. So they have got a rounded top and no snow-capped mountain. But Himalayas are snow-capped mountain. Why? Because they have got a height they have got a such kind of height. So snow-capped mountain, and here old fold mountains have got round top and they are not snow-free. And so example of old fold mountain in India is that Aravalli. You know, must have heard about Aravalli mountains. So this Aravalli mountain is the old fold mountain in India. There are a number of young fold and old fold mountains in the world that is mentioned in the textbook. And next we see that block mountains. You know, we learned that how the block mountains are formed. Block mountains are mainly formed due to the activity of faulting. We discussed just now what is faulting. So due to the faulting, block mountains are formed. And you see how the block mountains are formed. The middle portion, so when the tectonic plates move apart, middle portion is elevated, there forms block mountains. And one more point you have to remember is that with the block mountain, there also forms the rift valley. So whenever the block mountains are formed nearby, you can see near the block mountain, rift valley is also formed. Why? Because middle portion is elevated, so both the side there forms the rift valley. Here one of the example of block mountain is the Black Forest in Germany. That is not a cake here. Black Forest is the name of a mountain in Germany, that is a block mountain. And India, you know which is a block mountain. You must have heard about Vindhya and Satpura ranges near Narmada Valley. You know, river Narmada in India is flowing through a rift valley which is formed by this Vindhya and Satpura ranges.